Far from the influences of Earth, mythical creatures have been hidden away remotely for eons of time. These hybrid creatures flee here from humans, and while some are merely abominations, others are found to possess living souls. The throne wars wage on for the very souls of the creatures discovered here, the brood intent on enslaving them, forcing them to strip mine this small planet of its rare elements. Supernovae that the brood feed on are set to consume the sky and this little planet. Yet an unforeseen threat lurks, and something here is not as it seems, and those who come soon lose themselves. Swiel has just arrived, and she has discovered that a virus is eating up their memories. She urgently wants to warn Zack about this while she can still remember what it is. Yet Zack isn't listening to the lying lips of a brood warrior. You must choose your path. Save the creatures, or enslave them to mine this planet raw.
All right, VindaCator here. Gonna just double check. I'm just working on one monitor here. So just gonna make sure. Ah, hello? No music though. Oh, everything's coming through one. Hang on. Okay. I see. Okay, something strange is happening, but it looks like everything's coming through, so I'm just not going to worry about it. Anyways, VindaCator here from iPlayMore.com. Quick reminder to go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for our video game test of Thunder. So kind of the last minute getting everything ready for today. Wow, it's it's a lot of work. So I am the producer and founder of IMU Studios and the producer for Thunder Throne Wars. Takes place right here, a little place called the Milky Way Galaxy. You might know this place. You might live here where it says Sun. And if you travel down the Carina Arm, you come to the Stellar Jewel Box Nebula NGC 3603. And that's where our game takes place. And NASA took a satellite photo and kind of looks like that. And we put a little planet in there. And planet Nebulous Prime. As we zoom into it, you can see a bit of the layout that we've got for all the different areas, and we're working on Azure right now, specifically focused on Intrepid and our vertical slice. So you understand how that goes. Very early stage, we do a prototype, so that's what we did for Bear Isle, and then we made our vertical slice of Intrepid, and then we're going to get into pre-alpha next, and then it goes alpha beta. I'm going to go through a polish stage, make sure we get rid of all of the bugs, and take it from there. All right. So also have a metagame in our game, which means that winning and losing territory matters. It's not just the scoreboard's white clean, but you actually end up taking territory, and if the enemy wants it back, they have to win that back with the amount of wins. So, and if it's neutral, it's just like Bear here. So 12 over 12, and it loses its red and blue distinction. So this is what when you log into the game, this is what you're going to see, and then you're going to be able to pick and choose where you play, or you could just go, you know, like you go to the laggards here, there's no arenas, or you can go to Mystery Island, just do a bit of exploring, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a mix of, it's a hybrid game. I call it a FPS, first-person shooter on your right arm, an RPG on your left, and it's in an open world. All right, so we've got two super... just my mind goes blank. I want to say supernova suns, but that's not right. They don't go supernova in the beginning. So anyways, so got a red giant, that's what I'm trying to say, and a blue giant, and a red moon, and a blue moon. And so this is kind of, we're just kind of made up names and kind of came up with an idea here. We call it the Bilet star system because it has the red giant and the blue giant. I'm kind of backwards here. Red giant and blue giant. And then we got the two moons, Rain and New, which is a smaller red moon, and Supple, which is the blue moon. And Scott was figuring out how this would work. It's not quite right yet, but we'll keep working on that. And we're just... boy, we're so close to applying to this $100 million Epic Mega Grant. We're going to do two applications, one for the story that we've written. So we've written our first 5 seasons of, well, the arc for the first 5 seasons and the 2 pilot scripts for our TV show. So we're going to do that one first because it's going to be off the what do you want to call that? Development cycle first, and then we'll be doing the game second. And yeah, it's going to be kind of fun. So the list of all the publishers out there, and we'll be focusing on Epic Games. I think we'll just end up going there. Who knows? Can't tell the future. So Thunder Rocks is our TV show, and so we've got an 84-episode story arc done. We got the 2-episode pilot scripts written, which is fantastic because it gives us the pitch of, do you want to produce 1 or 2 instead of yes or no, which is kind of nice. And then this is what the 5-season layout look like. So we go from 12 to 24 episodes, and then we'll be pitching to Amazon, Netflix, and HBO. And yeah, it's very exciting to have all that done and edited. That was a big job, but it's great. So that is now with our advisor, television advisor. He's already got a show on Amazon, and he'll have that to us in the next week or 2. And then we'll be going in a bunch of different directions with that. All right. Oh, yeah. So this is the TV Pitch Bible. Actually, it's not 1.1 anymore. It's 1.3, I think. I'm going to look. Maybe it's 1.4. It's 1.3. So anyways, the first 5 seasons of titles and log lines, just for the first season log lines, and then titles for the first 5 seasons. And a layout for every season, the arc, what's going to happen, how it's all going to lay out. And then this is just the first page stretched out just to make it look good on 1080p. And then we got our 2 scripts done. Episode 1, Episode 2. And, oh, I see that I needed to update that. Sorry about that, Scott. You are in there, but not in that. That was from last week. I ran out of time. And just looking at what's happening with the characters and how their relationships are. The guy said that they have an updated version of this, but we never did that. And all of this music you hear over these streams, I always play a bunch of different ones. There's 47 songs, so I've got 5 sets, and I just play 1 set every stream, and I never get through them all. But these are just the single covers for the songs that have been written and mastered for this production. So this is from Zoran. This is actually just a note that he sent. Now, Zoran, I just got a message from him. He's like, good news and bad news. The bad news is I've been in a car accident. The good news, he's going to be off for 2 weeks working on the project. So I don't even, is that good news? I don't know. Okay, I guess he's alive. That's good news. So anyways, these are his predictions for how he can. So here's my decision. We've had this deadline last month of the 15th. And we worked our butts off, and we got a lot done. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that came trickling in later. There's a bunch of people that didn't follow through, didn't get things completed that they were supposed to. And so I'm kind of in this limbo stage. What do I do? So what I'm thinking is Zorn's right. We need to get these 4 things accomplished and get the game running better. So, especially if you're going to Epic, these guys are, technical people. And so they're going to be looking at this going, hey, they did it right. And I don't want to go there and say, oh, hey, we did all this, but this is going to be, or whatever. One of the things that we didn't do is really divide the level up and that kind of thing. But these are the 4 things that he said that we need to do. So what I'm going to do is, here's what I'm going to say. He needs to get Zach done. We need to get Zach into the game. That's just something that's been bugging me. That if you're going to play as Kin, we got to have Zach in the game. So he's working on Zach 3.0. So that's going to be done. We still have to do the wings, do the character, do all his gear, do the rigging, do the animation. So there's a lot of work to do. So what I'm hoping is that on our deadline for September 26th, that we'll have all of that done and all of this done. So object baking, that's basically putting our objects together. He says it'll increase our rendering speed by 15%. Material baking, relax the memory buffer 80% and renderer for 20%, especially if we use his material system. And again, he's been harping on us for not using his material system. So I think we've got it figured out. We have a weekly meeting now, and I'm just going to admit this stuff's way over my head, this technical stuff, but boy. So I do have occlusion calling turned on, and relax cylinder for 20%. So that's today. This will be the first time that I'm streaming with that done. And then texture streaming, reuse, relax the memory, buffer and render at least 30%, and the render 60+%. He actually didn't have percent in there, I put it in there, but I think that's what he's talking about. So we're talking about running about 200% faster and using his level streaming async method. So, this is all foreign to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. But, I mean, this is what we want to accomplish in the next couple weeks. So, this is still the same from last week. Steve's still working on 9 and 5. He just has a couple more views, then he's going to go to 2. And so, tree 12 that he did. And Sophia did the model. And Steve did tree 1. Sophia did the model. And for the life of me, I'm not sure what stage this is at. I think it's got to go the rigger. Sophia. Oh, I think... Anyways, you're going to have to tell me. Remind me, Sophia. So tree 10 he did. Tree 8 he did. Tree 4 he did. Tree 6 he did. Tree 11 he did. All right, so we got 16 playable characters in development. We're still a long ways away. We're just really working on player 2. Now, there was, I think... so Balaam is done. I love to put Balaam into the game if somebody understands how to put a character, and he's already in there. We just need to get him hooked up on the Brood side. And I don't think we had a second player for the Kin. I got to think about that. And then we've got Uriel for the Brood. I believe he's rigged. I think he's had animation. Suiel, who's in the game, Saflatus, who still has to be built, Aha, who still has to be built, Azrael has to be built, and Payment has to be built. And then there's going to be more, but that's all we've got working on right now. And we've got more signed. And Payman's Sun Fortress by Ija, Azrael's Sun Castle, and you can see Payman's fortress over here with the energy icon on top, and Azrael's stained glass, we'll call it palace. It's a castle. You see the blue and the red moon in the sky. So that's really cool. And Aha's Eternal Castle. And Telly's Bane Castle. There is our Lager Guru. So he's animated. We just need to get textures and stuff on him. I think he's going to be the next thing that we do. And Ricky did up the Pit Quest book. So he's gone away to be with family for the next couple weeks, to the middle of the month. And so there's our Unipig pit. So these are pits. These are underground. And you're going to do that quest and learn about these. Forever Pit, which is the Wildcat. And then the Intrepid Pit, which is where I'm playing today with Pygmy Marmoset. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so Kieran did up the Lager Prince. So we already had one of these done. So this is 2.0. I guess I should put that on there somewhere. But anyways, this is a look at him. And so Leandra did up his views. Just want to go back and forth and look at this a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit different. And then this is what Sophia did for the Lager Prince. So he went to rigging. I believe he's been rigged, and he is now at animation. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. And then our Lager Guard. So he's almost done. So Duck is working on him, and he has him pretty much ready to go. We need him to stand in front of the marketplace, which I'll show in a bit. And then the common lagers. So Leandra did a lot of work here, so I'm just trying to show a bit of it. She did all the views for the common lagers. Common lager B did all the views. The lager queen. So she did that as well with the views. The lager king. So she did all the views for him as well. And the throne. So we had choices. We picked one. So this is the one that we picked. And then the different heights. So she got all that done this week. And so I'm still showing this stuff from Viara. So I think we're done all the Lager stuff now. Pretty much. It's not all in the game, of course, but done all the concept art. So that's fantastic, and they've got the views for the castle. All this stuff will go into building once we get to that stage. We're just totally focused on getting Intrepid ready for pitch. So that's kind of the priority. The Lager Marketplace, so we're already using some of this. So we're using this, this has already been built, and that is actually in Intrepid. The Lager huts, so this is where the common lagers will go. And the dark lager, so B has been our choice, and Kieran will be working on getting us views for B, and then we'll build that out. And the dark lager huts, that's where those guys live. And we'll probably end up doing the other two guys as well, but you know, we're just voting on what needs to be done first. We're just trying to get everything in production, all the different elements and views for building this stuff. All right, so we have we had a problem. The problem's been solved by this image here. So the writers introduced Cameo. And Cameo is a character that actually, he's from the Angelica Order of Powers, so he's not part of this initial start. He's not a playable character or anything like that. He's just really somebody that's, he's a mentor for the kin, for the good guys. And so the writers had a blurb on him, and I didn't have an image, so I put an internet image, and I'm like, man, that's not good. You know, I don't want the whole thing to be blown out of the water because we don't have a concept art for this. So I'm like, Duck, because he's like, hey, not only can I model, I can actually do concept art too. So I'm like, okay, do Cameo. So he did. So here he is. So this is great. We got this done. So this can go into our TV pitch Bible, and that's going to be all of our own images that we've worked on. All right, so here is the arch nemesis for Cameo, which is, so this is also done by Duck. So this is actually already in the game. Now there's no textures on this, but so that's Gap. So that's the mentor for the brood. And he's kind of a bad guy in a lot of ways. Of course, you don't find that out right away. And then we've got his sidekick, Grawl. And then on his little stool and his raised throne. And then this is on a platform here. And then there's a force field, so you can't go through there until you get a quest. And then it opens up. And yeah, I'm not going to share the mystery because it's going to be kind of cool. And there is our sleeping dragon in the pit. So I just took these pictures from last week just because I didn't have time to do all that. I do have a new picture here. So this is the updated picture of the marketplace. So that's a Lager marketplace. And you can see the mail quest here. And there's going to be an apple quest with the Unipig. And so Boyan's working on a new version of the fountain. I mean, honestly, this one looks great to me, but the one he's working on is even better. He's like, that's just a placeholder. I'm like, okay. So he's definitely a perfectionist artist. But this is all looking fantastic. So these are all new screenshots I just took. Well, except the flowers here. That's from last week. Those are the flowers that I did up for Bear Isle, and I put them into the new game here. Thanks to Henrique. Henrique's been a big help here. You'll see some more of that too. So this is all looking great. The water's all the same color, all flowing nicely down. And some more images. I took 3 of these just because you can see a little bit of the animation on that. And thanks to everybody that worked on the hands. And continued work on the hands. It's kind of cool. And I took all these shots of the cactus from the other side so you can now see the brightness of them. All right. So this is a Brood level 1 shrine. So we were talking this week about making it so that this remains. So as a character, you're going to come in and you can be anywhere. You can see how big this circle is here. Can be anywhere in this circle, standing in here. And when level 2 happens, we are talking about keeping this and having this rise up. So we're going to have to do some reconstruction of level 2 and level 3 shrines. But I just want to mention this again. So, you know, this would be the idea that we would keep this shrine stage 1. I shouldn't say level, stage 1. and it's going to stay at the heart of stage 2 and stage 3 shrines. So that's the idea. And if you're standing in here, it's just going to raise up higher and not lock people underneath. So that's kind of the solution we were talking about. All right, eating a pig, taking a drink out of the lake. So this is all new water. This water actually, I'll try to show this some of this today. It actually has a physics thing, so you run through it and it actually kind of does ripples and stuff. It's pretty cool. So Nate has been working on that. All right, so we're gonna go up the mountain here, have a look at these nests. And so Henrique finished this all up. It was kind of a mess, and he just rebuilt it. So the thing is you can restructure the whole shape of the mountain to fit the nest, or you can just, and I mean, the birds wouldn't be able to change the mountain. So I just put it on there. I pushed it down. There's some rocks coming through it, and I like it that way. And then you can see the quest items here. So there's a couple of feathers here. And so now part of the stream is revealing secrets. So I'm going to reveal the secret for this quest. And of course, nobody's playing this yet, and it's not set up yet, so it's going to take a while. The secret for this quest is to shoot your device in the air and scare off the phoenix. If you shoot them, you're going to banish them to the pit, and God help you if you get banished to the pit, because they're going to be there waiting for you. So it's a little twist in our game. Unlike any other game, other games you shoot the NPCs and then they just respawn. It's kind of a stupid thing. In our game, there's consequences for everything you do. So there's the golden idol, and Sophia modeled that up, and Leander did the concept for it, and Sophia did the blue. I'm trying to think of what that's called. Blue precious stone, the red, and the third nest. And you can see it's got 2 items here. It's got, and you probably can't see them, but there's the yellow crystal, and then there is the Holy Grail. So those are items that the marmosets have collected, probably stole. And then there's going to be 5 altars. You got to take them and place them around on the altars. And there's our tree man. So again, thanks to Steve for drawing it up, and Sophia for doing the model, and then it was rigged and animated. John did the animation. So that's just fantastic. All right, we're gonna go over. Oh, so there is one of the altars you're gonna take your items to. All right, so now we're gonna head into the brood side here, and I gotta say, I am really impressed. I mean, we got a lot to do here still, but I'm really impressed with how this is going. So, and this is kind of cool. It's so funny because when we build this stuff, you're not really thinking about it, but you see, you can't just go through the middle. This thing pushes you around to the edge, and if somebody was to blast you, you're going to fall into the lava, which is a perfectly legitimate thing in our game. I kind of like how these are all offset, and these various things appear in between as you're walking up. So I took a bunch of screenshots today, very early today, to get an idea what this looks like. But it's kind of cool. I should just look and see, is anybody commenting? Because I'm in a different setup here now. Oh yeah. Sheila, David, Sandy. That opening reminded me of an Iron Maiden Number of the Beast. Looks like Deathlog stage. Speaking of castle, I gotta go back home. Goodbye. Sandy Comics. So I don't know who that was, but did you fix your monitor? No, I didn't. So I've got the new video card in, and I've got to get an adapter. There's a new system. So I mean, my one monitor works, but I'm reduced to one monitor here. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, sorry guys that I missed your chats. I'm on one monitor here and I'm not seeing that. So I usually have that on the second monitor. Anyways, okay, so let's continue. So this is the Brood Fortress. Coming up, we got all the fire working, all the glowing working. This is the back side of it. This is up above the back side of it looking out. So we still have to do the lava flows here, coming into the pit here. This is actually not supposed to be a lava pit. It's supposed to be a deep maze because the level, you can't go down any further. So we're going to cut a hole here and put in a model. And it's going to be a maze that you fall into, and then you got to figure your way back out or fly out. You know, so it just kind of depends. Reward people. So this is the Brood Throne. All right. So there that is. Now we're leaving the Brood Fortress. Coming back across the map. And then we're going to go down into the Phoenix Fountain. So the Phoenix is all done. That's our centerpiece. Looks fantastic. I think we need some lights on that. So maybe Nate, I'll toss that to you. You're so good at that kind of stuff. Also, maybe Nate, you can have a look at this. We've got a guy named Duncan, and he's kind of disappeared. People. It's the thing with we bring people in and then they go dark. So I mean, he'll come back, but I think he took our. We were talking about how the animation for. So the animator that did this, he didn't look at videos online. He created a kind of a run for the Komodo dragon that was a little bit different. But I think what Duncan did is cut the speed in half, so we just need to increase the speed back to normal because it looks ridiculous at half speed. All right, so there's the Phoenix Fountain. We're going down below, so it's like a well down below. That's a teleporter. You go into the pit. And this is all I did because the pit is so dark. We need to get some proper lighting in here, so I just went back up. And what's funny is spectator, I can't get out of the water, so then I had to restart everything. Okay, so that is the bridge that Boyan did. And Nate has replaced all this water. So this has the caustics now so that you can actually walk through the kind of parts and all that kind of stuff. Same with this water. And then the marmoset, so I just took this one from last week, my little zoom in on the marmoset walking. All right, so now we're heading up towards the Kin Castle. And still some placeholders there, but we're getting a lot closer. Oh, so here's something that... so this is something that Kang did. This is supposed to spawn the little... so it's like a berry on the plant. It's supposed to grow on the top, but it's growing way up in the air. And I tried to adjust that. I don't know how to do it, so I guess it's got to be done in programming. Just want to mention that. All right. Loving what's happening here at the Kin Castle. It's absolutely amazing. So this is a whole bunch of, it's a team of people working on all these different elements to bring it all together, and just being inspired by, concept art and some of the 3D stuff and going back and forth and, really throwing out some of the stuff that we created to create something better. And here's the throne room. So Colin's working on this. And he says that it's still going to be another 3 weeks before he's done. So I might want him to get that done for our deadline. But this placeholder is great. And there's the Kin throne. This is the back. So this is behind the throne room. Again, behind the throne room, a little closer. Up above. All right. So this is kind of zooming out. And then I came back down. I wanted to really make sure that we showed Carlos's work on the Kin Watergate because it's just incredible. And so there's the Watergate there. So we got the gates at the front. So Brood and Kin are very different, but they got some balance between them, so I like it. Looking down at our vertical slice is supposed to be focused on the central fountain area, and that's what we did. But we've done just a whole lot more just because it's a multiplayer game. And, the Brood Fortress and the Kin Castle just look so fantastic. So I did this one upside down just because it fits a little better. But it puts the Kin at the top right and the Brood at the bottom left. And that's kind of how we plan things. And a little bit of a zoom out. So talking about Unreal Engine 5. So that's the next version of Unreal. And so this is some images that they put out talking about per pixel density, Hollywood graphics, high resolution models. The engine figures everything out. It's just a dream come true. So game 2 is going to be made on this engine. And so just some fantastic imagery huge open world. And so that's where we're going. And this is Niagara. So all of our effects you see in the game are all going to be gone. And we're going to be moving to Niagara in the future. So let's talk about a little bit about our exponential gameplay for Throne Wars. And so you start by taking your own throne. Maybe we'll start with the Brood this time. So if you're a Brood, you take your own throne. And you stay until the announcement's done. So that's another little secret. And you get 2 throne energies. You go to the central fountain. You create a stronghold. While your team maintains holding your own throne and you capture the enemy throne, you create a kingdom. So both thrones are open and capturable until your top scoring guy goes back and touches a forward throne or the home throne, or even places a throne and creates an empire. And then it's all locked onto one throne. So now this throne is out. And you hold it for a certain amount of time. You create a dynasty, which relocks everything. So everything's getting locked in the shrine. So the Brood lock looks like this. The Kin lock looks like this. And of course, these shrines are going from stage 1 to stage 2 and stage 3, which is what Sophia's working on right now. And then when you build thrones all the way across the map, which I won't show today because we've got a little bit of a glitch. I'm hoping that when we do the fixes that Zorn's talking about, that'll be done. So I've got 2, I'm going in 2 directions with that. 1, we're going to optimize the game and get rid of that error. And 2, we're going to allow you to place thrones from stage 3 shrines. And that'll allow, we'll be placing a lot less thrones to create dominations. Anyway, so when you declare dominations, you put in jeopardy the energy icon at the back, and then when it's destroyed, you win the round. So there's 2 victory conditions in our game. 1 is destroying the energy icon. Number 2 is banishing the whole entire enemy team. And we call this SCED because you're creating Stronghold, Kingdom, Empire, Dynasty. And then there's Ultimate Throne Wars, which I won't be showing again today just because of the memory issue that's happening. And so that's just basically placing thrones, and when they meet, you can't continue. You can only go wide, and then whoever gets the most points. So imagine there's 4 guys on here shooting each other. Whoever gets most points wins the battle, and they usurp the enemy thrones. So all you have to do is place halfway, take over the enemy thrones, and then come back and place, or vice versa. All right, so we've got t-shirts up. We got poster up. Go to teespring.com/stores/iPlayMore. Enter the code iPlayMore. Save yourself $3. We've got Discord up. I'm not sure if that's working still. I didn't check that. You can earn mana on Discord by being active there. And that's one of our mana coins. And there we go. So I'm going to turn on my... Okay. So forgive me because I'm just kind of on one monitor here, and it's like being a total noob. Okay, and I've got my super sunglasses on again to protect my eyes from these monitors. I've got a low blue light monitor, and it still hurts my eyes. It just sucks. But I spend a lot of time on this, so that's why. All right, so I want to just look at the chat again. Oh yeah, see lots of people chatting here. Okay. All right. So there's a... All right. Okay. So when you're creating something, a completely new and different game, it's, when you're creating the same thing that other people have created in the marketplace, then yeah, it's easy to say, oh, this is like World of Warcraft, and they got 8 million viewers or players, and we want to make a game like that. But when you're making something new and different, it's a lot more difficult. All right. So this is the Kin side, so it's going to wait for the lift. All right. And the Brood side.
The Kin. Princess of Thunder.
All right. Okay, Broodside. So if you get on the center throne, you capture a lot faster. I'm just going to push G here so you can see the character on the throne. So we're going to be changing the thrones a little bit.
Princess of Thunder.
All right. So you stay for that announcement. You got 2 throne strikes. Okay, so I'm going to leave the Brood. So I'm going to do Brood because I like it because it changes the fountain to lava. That's a little scary. Seeing the lava. Okay, so I've changed the recoil on... What device do I got? Yeah, so I changed the recoil here. We've got a left and a right on this now. It just seemed a little different. That's the pep. Whoa, in the water. So it's a race to get here. I love that idea. Uh-oh. I fell in the water. So we gotta get the jump fixed in the water. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I want to do today. So, I mean, you can just fly. So I'm just going to fly up there, which is much faster than taking a lift. All right. But you know what? I didn't pick up Agony. I like showing that. Okay, let's just show the stingers. So I can't capture the throne as long as she's on the middle one. What I can do is use a claw. That's not working. There she goes. I'm going to jump on the middle. Let's go see where she went. Oh, she's just behind the throne.
Queen of Domination.
So I can push T and place some thrones. You can see my scepter's online now, so I got a lightning scepter. It's gonna go back up. Let's take a lift again. They're so cool. All right. So if I put her in here, she can't capture. So it's like tug of war because the other character's on the throne. But when she leaves, she'll immediately start capturing. And this one's got to go all the way back over and take the fastest recoil device, which is the hog. All right. Oh. Push freedom. And fly up here. No! I didn't make it. So what that means is that Kin has recaptured the other side.
The Kin.
Yeah.
Princess of Thunder.
And so she's the princess again. We go back over to the brood side. Push H. And we've been reduced to a stronghold because she's captured that throne. Because these are a great distance apart. All right. So, you know, you could go back and capture, you could place thrones. I'm not going to do a lot of that. Let's go do the quests. Oh, Pep. So the idea behind Pep, when you play games like Quake and they got haste, you pick it up, you're twice as fast, feels really cool, and then when it goes off it just seems so slow. But what happens with Pep is it just drops off very slowly and you don't really notice it. It feels much more natural. Alright. So we're going to have some training quests in here. So this is our Lagger Prince. This is 1.0. We're putting in 2.0. There's just some issues with the model. So you want to go with 13 of these. We got to get randomized on this. So these are people. You got to be careful that that plant doesn't attack you. We don't have all that working yet, though. So still lots to do. So you just want to be careful how you come in on these. So the plant doesn't grab you. And I want to get that randomized so that there's not the same order all the time. All right. I did it again. That gets me every time. It's here. All right. And that's done. So we're going to have a bunch of quests, and they just kind of work like that. Oh, I know what I'm going to do, too, is I want to go look at the nests. So we got some fixing to do on these. All right. So the Lagger Princess. Oh, so I talked to the rigger, and he's going to take her and see if he can fix the shoulders and give her some eyelids. Just give us a better placeholder. We're going to have to end up doing her again. Just a couple issues with the rig and with the model. Which probably all has to do with the model. Alright, so there's going to be some Pygmy Marmoset quests. And so you can see the 3 nests here. And again, the secret here is to not shoot the phoenixes. So those are being developed right now. And they'll have to be rigged and then put in here so that we have flying phoenixes. All right. And so those are there. You'll collect the items. Oh yeah, let's go try the water caustics. Alright. There's the unifig. Still have to redo textures. Okay, so I'm just going to push G so I can see the water. Oh yeah, see? Oh no, I'm underneath the water. So it's a new water system. And it is lapping the shore still. See if I can find a good place for that. Yeah, you can see it's lapping the shore a bit there. And this one got done too. And then run through it. It's kind of cool. So little by little, there's still lots to do, but I think we're ready to present this and be able to present this to Epic. I think that's the way to go, and maybe we should have did that sooner, but we're all a bunch of perfectionists, want this thing to be perfect. And, there is lots of competition. Only 10% of the applications get approved for financing. So that's the thing. We'll go do the princess quests. So this is what we're going to need the guard for. So we're going to put the guards in front of this, and then you're going to have to come and sneak around from behind. Otherwise they'll catch you. Oops, I'm too close to it. All right. Oh, it's supposed to be a waypoint over here. Oh, there's a bunch of power-ups. So when you push your G to gesture, you're going to be able to see your character. She's in the dark, so it's hard to see. Let's get her out of the dark. When you push G, you see your character. All right. And a bunch of power-ups fall. So that's return. Actually, let's just go and show banishing. We'll just find a kind of a place where they can meet. All right, we'll just go right here. Switch the other character. She's got a lot of throne strikes. Throne energy. Just jumping down here. You had to change the right click on this because this is supposed to be like a rocket jump. And it just wasn't good enough. Now it is. So I said to change that. It's just that as we're messing with things with the new programmer, it changes things a bit. All right. So let's gonna go run the path here. So I'm gonna cheat. Come across. Get this device. Come back. Uh-oh. I don't know what that was. A little bit of a lag. At least it didn't crash. All right. So this is called the... I'm just going to take a drink here. All right. So with the agony, of course, you can zoom in on a character by holding control and roll your mouse wheel. You can get pretty close. I don't know why it's going blurry. Somebody did something, so I'm going to have to fix that because I never did that before. So you can left click, damage the enemy, but if you right click, you create a tie bond and connect yourself to that other player. All right. So this, both the dark and the lights are damaging the same shield. Yeah, I wonder who changed that. Why is that like that? See how the character's all blurry? Somebody changed that. I have to get that fixed. Now, because we're tie bond, I'm actually damaging my own shield and getting points for my own shield. So it's kind of a revolutionary design. No other game does that. And that's the thing, you know, when you're doing really unique things, people just don't understand it. So our business model, our game, everything's totally unique. In the end, it's going to be so much better, but it's much more of a struggle in the beginning. But I don't know. People told me that, and I'm just like, I don't care. I don't want to just sell out, do the same game everybody else is doing. Because you notice that I play brand new games. Like, I've already played this before. It's the same as something else. They don't have exponential gameplay. The other thing is if you bring financing in too early, you don't own it. You know, the people that are doing the financing. So that's why it's important to do things in a unique way, to create a unique product that's going to be more beneficial for people. So that sound says I'm running out of energy, but I can switch to my other device because I haven't. So I'm making her come. Now, of course, it's a team play game. This would be me and a whole bunch of other people attacking an enemy. I don't know about multiple tie bonding, but so now you can see we've gone from the black and white shield. Now we're at the core shield. I've got still at 1% black and white, and now it's gone. Now I'm affecting my own rare shield. What's interesting about this, it gives me a bit of an idea what's happening on the other side, because I know she's weaker than I am. Of course, she would be shooting me as well. Okay, so I'm running out of both energies now. Again, long battles, team play game, that's what it's all about. So I got those recoils pretty high now. I got 40% shield. Let's go look at hers. H. Oh man, I'm not getting any HUD. We got a bug here. No HUD. All right. Just going to switch back. So you cut the tie bond with the claw. It's kind of a nice way to battle, though. What I do like about this model that we're going to be doing is better than free-to-play, which nobody's ever done before. It's our own whole concept. Free to play basically means that somebody that puts the money in, then it's paid to win. And when people were watching my stream, they're like, don't make a pay to win game. And I was like, okay, we're not going to. But I didn't understand how. Of course, we had to invent a completely new idea. And that's allowing people to use the gear that the people buy. And that's going to be revolutionary. So it's better than free to play. There we go. Banished. And you can see all those power-ups. So we still got things floating above. So now that's the booty. So now I can run around, pick up all the booty. Now all those unused power-ups. I got it. All the devices are floating. Okay, got it. Okay, so what does the enemy look like? You've been banished. So all you can do is look around. You can push tab. You can see your HUD. Nothing happens when you push H, so right? Nope. And then, so you push your left mouse, and then you spawn into the pits. Well, I can see a little bit of what's going on here. There's the spider. So that guy's going to be following you around, so you don't want to be standing in one place too long. And if he touches you, you're going to be rebanished. Oh, see, look, I can see the waypoints. Interesting. Never realized that. And because Brood has a stronghold, so we've got the lava down here. And we've got to get it so it doesn't level you up. Anyways, I'm not going to escape because it's just too dark. So, well, I'll do it. Maybe I'll try a little bit. Kind of going for a route. Rare device. And there's a way to gap in that other room. So we're having some flashing on the spaces between the rocks. Okay. I'm just going to go back up top. So if you have return, which is this, the last one in the list, you can push it. And it spawns you back at your home tree. And then go back to freedom, fly up. There's the supply room here. I'm inside of it. Come up top. And then here's all your goodies. So that's the other thing that we got to get done is that when somebody controls the throne, that supply room there is supposed to be in a force field, and this shrine is supposed to be in a force field. And so when you're creating strongholds, kingdoms, empires, dynasties, that's completely locked. And then you need to use, so there's another secret, not with, and that'll bring you inside the force field. And then you can unlock it. And that'll also take you in the supply room. And you can level up. When you leave the pit, you need to level up. You need to come visit this shrine underneath the home tree. And you can do either your side or the enemy's side. All right, so I think that's it for this week. It's VindaCator saying thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Make sure to like the video. And where am I going? Right here. All right, so make sure you go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for a video game test. We've got about 1,000 people now signed up. And so still a little short of our 50,000 person goal. But next week we will be pushing that out and talking to people a little bit more about that. We're still a ways away from multiplayer testing just because we're going to be updating the version of the engine, and then we're waiting for Amazon Game Lift to get caught up and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, it's coming. So, and it's going to be exciting as we're diversifying our funding and going in a bunch of different directions and increasing our budget. and turning this into a full-time gig. So that's really great news. Anyways, it's VindaCator saying thanks for watching. See you next week. And I guess I gotta turn this on. And I'm out.